We appreciate if you could switch off your mobile phones or turn them into silent mode until the end of the proceedings. The graduates will now enter Please stand for the academic procession and please remain standing until the members of the procession have taken their seats. The Chancellor's procession will now enter the hall in the following order and will proceed to their seats. Chairman of the Convocation Ceremony, Dr. Mahesh Amalin, CEO SLINTEC, Dr. Naresh Kumar Handagama, Vice Chancellor SLINTEC Academy, Professor Viranja Karunaratne, Chief of Research and Innovation, Dr. Aziz Mubarak, SLINTEC Academy Board Member, Dr. Chandra Embuldenia, SLINTEC Academy Board Member, Ms. Dahara Vijayatilaka, former Provost, SLINTEC Academy, Professor Nilwala Kottegoda, former Provost, SLINTEC Academy, Dr. R.D. Gunaratna, Head of Business Development, Dr. Lakshita Pahalagedara, Senior Research Scientist, Dr. Nuwan De Silva. Please be seated. In keeping with the Sri Lankan tradition And to commence today's proceedings, I would like to invite the following distinguished guests to do the honors in lighting the traditional oil lamp. Special guest, the Secretary to the Ministry of Technology, Mr. Jayantha De Silva. Chairman of the Convocation Procession, Dr. Mahesh Amalin. A special guest, Mr. Minister Tharaka Balasurya. CEO SLINTEC, Dr. Naresh Kumar Handagama. Vice Chancellor SLINTEC Academy, Professor Viranja Karuna Ratna. Chief of Research and Innovation, SLINTEC, Dr. Aziz Mubarak. SLINTEC Academy Board Member, Dr. Chandra Embulvenia. SLINTEC Academy Board Member, Ms. Dahara Vijaythilaka. Former Provost, SLINTEC Academy, Professor Nilwala Kotegoda. Former Provost, SLINTEC Academy, Dr. R.J. Gunaratna. And I would also like to invite a graduate in lighting the oil lamp. Please be seated. Before we start the day's proceedings, let's pay our respect to our motherland. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise for the national anthem.
Namo
Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to announce that the Chancellor, Mr. Ishara Nanayakkara, is away due to sudden overseas travel. And it is with privilege I invite the Chairman of the Convocation ceremony, former Chairman of SLINTEC and former Chancellor of SLINTEC Academy, Deshamanya Dr. Mahesh Amalin, to officially declare open the proceedings.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I declare open the proceedings, and I now invite Professor Viranja Karunaratne, the Vice Chancellor of the SLINTEC Academy, to deliver the welcome address.
Very good morning to all of you. SLINTEC Academy, whoever is representing the Academy here, and SLINTEC Board of Directors, Foundation Professors of SLINTEC Academy. I see two of them, Professor Buddhi Marabe and Professor Ajit Dialvis. Graduates or graduates, not yet, and their families, and colleagues and friends of SLINTEC. I know there are many friends of SLINTECs. We call them abbreviation of FOS. That's a term that we started in 2008 in the basement of Birgama. So many FOSs are here. And I welcome all of you. I also welcome Honorable Minister Namal Rajapaksa, the chief guest, who is just arriving, and Honorable Minister Tharaka Balasurya, accompanying, who is just arriving. Thank you, sirs, for gracing the occasion today. This has been a long journey. If I say so, many of you may not understand what we have been up to. hard work of the students for the past 4 years, tremendously hard work, has paid off. And we are here today to salute the great work of the graduating class, to honor them with warm congratulations. Today being one of the most important turning points of your life, we are here today to send you off on your way, to meet your future, armed with an education and a training second to none. Graduates, all of you, each one of you is here today through your own sustained hard work. No one else got you here but you. You displayed courage to face challenges of the research that you did. You developed certain qualities of character and mind to achieve this. And these include empathy, rigor, hard work, diligence, and the capacity to think independently, to listen politely, and importantly, when necessary, to disagree without being disagreeable. With these qualities, you are empowered to seek out new opportunities with the confidence that you can contribute, with the knowledge that you are ready with the conviction that you can overcome challenges and unexpected setbacks. That's the power of the degree that is being awarded to you today. You stood tall and showed the world that you are what you are made of. When the world beat you down, you found reasons to get back up again. Try, and try again. You did. Fed your mind with ideas of success and not failure. Your internal compass told you that the only way you can fail is if you give up. You know that every time you failed, you are one step closer to success. You experience that following your dreams can be both terrifying and exciting. Can be both terrifying and exciting. Courage is facing fear, and all of you did that. Fear of failure holds most people back, and you're not most people. Most people master the obvious, and you created something that wasn't there before. It's bold, it's beautiful, and it's you. Malcolm X, the great civil rights leader in the US, once said that the future belongs to those who prepare for it today. And Bill Belichick, from an opposing spectrum, who was one of the greatest NFL football coaches living today, once said, success is paid for in advance. You don't just become successful. You prepared and you paid in advance, and now that future belongs to you. The MPhil students who are graduating today have decided to spread the seeds of SLINTEC and Sri Lanka beyond our shores, to enter foreign universities and to pursue your PhDs. Good for you. But please become great ambassadors of this great country. The PhD students who graduate today have decided to work amongst us, the mortals who decided to do science in Sri Lanka. Remember, please remember that this country needs you, and it's ever so grateful that you made this commitment to stay here. And now, dear graduates, these last few moments on the eve of your graduation, let us take a quiet moment to reflect. I invite you to ask yourself, what is the core purpose of my life? You can ask yourself that. Now try to look ahead for the next 20 to 30 years from now and ask yourself two questions. When my story is written, what should I like people to say about me? That's question number one. And what will my contribution to my family, my community, my profession, and my country and the world around me be in another 20 to 30 years? When we were as young as you, we may have asked those questions. I shall not comment as to how the story of our lives have been written, probably written somewhere else. Search within your soul to answer to those questions. Set forth in your journey with solemn determination. Graduates, your research supervisors have empowered you to bring you on a journey of experiences which helped you to grow and transform. The whole of SLINTEC celebrates with you. We're proud of your achievements. Let me repeat that. But there is much to do, and today marks a new beginning. I call each of you to action, to go out from here with confidence, with the blessings and the best wishes, and work actively towards living a good and a generous life. Education and lead forth. Education and lead forth is the motto of SLINTEC Academy. Education merely isn't enough. You've got to lead with the education you have received. Now, today, the MPhil students have the privilege of gaining MPhil degrees in nano and advanced technology, PhD degrees in nanoscience and nanotechnology. Through a quirk of circumstances, they have 2 degree titles. Now, with privileges of getting these degrees, you have obligations to fulfill. Privileges don't come without obligations. Graduates, you have the obligation to build the systems and the structures of the future. You need to become pillars on which communities are built by serving the leaders as leaders of this country and the world. You should open doors to those who need assistance and direction. So those are your obligations. And finally, wherever you go with all your heart. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Viranja Karunaratne. Ladies and gentlemen, I now warmly welcome the Chief Guest, Honorable Minister Namal Rajapaksha, to address the gathering.
Honorable State Minister Taraka Balasuriya, Secretary to the Technology Ministry, and academic staff of SLINTEC and SLINTEC Academy, graduates, distinguished guests. First of all, let me congratulate all of you for your graduation and for all the hard work you have put up for the last so many years. As a government, we are committed to enhance technology and to make sure that we become a hub for technology in our region. It was President Mahinda Rajapaksa, now the Prime Minister, in 2008, who initiated this research institution as the first public-private partnership in Sri Lanka. So we believe this is a model for the government to take forward as an institution where the private sector and the public sector work hand in hand, especially when it comes to research and technology. As a country, we believe we have the infrastructure when it comes to the technology. But it is how we use them, or the raw materials. How are we going to use them and develop them and upgrade them to make sure that we can use it for the betterment of the country. So institutions like this and academics like you all can take this to the next level. And also, not only to be part of the progress or the growth of Sri Lanka, but also introduce new technology to the global markets. So that's why, as a government, His Excellency the President, the Prime Minister, that we are keen on investing on academic research and also supporting not only SLINTEC, but also the other institutions that we are looking at developing technology and creating new innovations that can be part of the progress or the growth progress in our country. And also, we believe that Sri Lanka has the potential to become an educational hub. We talk about the foreign outflow, we talk about restricting certain things, but I don't think we have highlighted or understood that we spend more than close to $2 billion annually for education, especially undergraduates. So we have identified that, and we, as a government, we are very keen on looking at the opportunity of promoting Sri Lanka as an educational hub, not only for local students, but also for foreign students. And I believe SLINTEC and SLINTEC Academy can play a major role in making that reality and making the way for local and foreign students to come and do their research. So finally, let me congratulate all of you. As Professor mentioned, you are brand ambassadors, not only for the SLINTEC, but also for Sri Lanka. And we believe that you can contribute and invent things that can change the world, that can change the way people live, change the way people think. And you have that capacity, you have that ability. So as a Ministry of Technology and the government, we will support you, we will back you with policy framework and also any other way that we can support you. Myself, Mr. Tharaka Balasurya, and the Secretary, we will be there when you need us in any form. So congratulations and thank you very much.
Thank you, Minister Namal Rajapaksa. Ladies and gentlemen, next in the agenda is the conferment of MPhil and PhD degrees offered by the SLINTEC Academy. A short introductory video will be presented before each conferment. Now, I would like to invite Dr. Lakshita Pahalagedara to proceed to the podium. To confer degrees, I would like to invite Dr. Mahesh Amalin, accompanied by the Vice-Chancellor, Professor Viranja Karunaratne.
Chancellor, I present MPhil candidates first. So let us start with the introductory video, please.
I'm Viranja Karunaratne. I'm a Bachelor of Pharmacy graduate at JSR John Katalal Defense University. After my graduation in 2017, I started my MPhil degree in Nano and Advanced Technology at Sri Lanka Institute of Nanotechnology. In this research project, I mainly focused on development of biopolymer nanoparticle mediated novel drug delivery systems. So my research project is ascorbate and folic acid delivery system by using biopolymeric nanoparticles. This project is supervised by Professor Viranja Karunaratne, Professor Nedra Karunaratne and Dr. Karanga Thoradeniyan. In this research project, I synthesized ascorbate and folic acid encapsulated agile nanoparticles sized below 100 nanometer. So I performed nano characterization techniques including particle size analysis, UV visible and FTIR spectroscopy, elemental analysis, electron microscopy imaging, as well as I performed drug release kinetic study and cell cytotoxicity study. I identified that these nanoparticles have pH-dependent drug release and it protects the encapsulated drug from oxidation in extreme gastrointestinal conditions in oral drug delivery. So these nanoparticles have good commercialization potential to develop as a nutraceutical to treat iron and folate deficient people around the world. Now I am working as a lecturer in pharmaceutical science at CINIC Campus Malambi. So this MPhil degree and MPhil research experience that inspired me to become a lecturer at SLINTEC. I'm grateful to my supervisors, Professor Viranja Karnaratne, Professor Nedra Karnaratne and Dr. Tarangatharadinge for their valuable guidance, and I want to thank SLINTEC and SLINTEC staff for their support throughout this research project.
Rajapaksha ගෙදර වේරංග ධනුෂ්ක බණ්ඩාර රාජපක්ෂ.
I graduated from University of Colombo, where I specialized in immunology and integrated molecular biology. After the graduation, I started my MPhil degree at SLINTEC under the supervision of Dr. Laksirivira Singha, Professor Inoka Pereira, Dr. Nuwanti Katuwawula, and Dr. Ramli Chakode. My thesis title was Improving the Stability of XLASPP2 Peptide through Nanoconjugation, where I addressed peptide chemistry, computational chemistry, and nanobiotechnology. During the project, I synthesized a naturally occurring antimicrobial peptide and identified the potency of the peptide to treat rhabdomyocarcinoma. Further, the druggability was improved through nanoconjugation, and the undergoing mechanism was determined by computational approaches. I'm glad to mention that I was able to publish the work in 2 international journals. At this moment, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to my supervisors and SLINTEC for providing me the best learning environment. Thank you.
B.M. Yasuri Dinushka Ekmini Amarasekara.
I'm Anoja Kaushian. I did my bachelor degree in mineral resource and technology and specialized in mineral processing technology at UVA Villas University, Badula. I joined Sri Lanka Institute of Nanotechnology for industrial training program from UVA Villas University. After my graduation in 2017, I had a great opportunity to start my MPhil degree in nano and advanced technology at SLINTEC Academy, SLINTEC. My MPhil research project focused on developing value-added products using industrially viable mineral muscovite through advanced technology under excellent supervision of Dr. Prasanka Mantilaga and Professor Gamini Rajapaksha. I could be able to complete my MPhil project successfully due to their smart guidance on my project. In this project, I synthesized the products such as agarine nanoparticles on thin sheet of muscovite, zinc oxide nanoparticle on thin sheet of muscovite, and composite of polyaniline coated muscovite using simple flexible method, and studied in detail of their superior properties such as photocatalytic property, antimicrobial property, and anticorrosive property. I identified agarine nanoparticles on thin sheet of muscovite show superior photocatalytic degradation of the textile dye methylene blue under sunlight and UV light sources respectively. These synthesized products are capable of treating industrial dye effluents. I demonstrated that polyaniline coated muscovite shows superior anticorrosive property than existing commercial anticorrosive paints in Sri Lankan market. These value-added products from Muscovite have good commercialization potential with cost-effective manner to add enormous value to the Sri Lankan mica. Finally, I end up my talk with thanking my supervisors and SLINTEC team. It was a great pleasure to work with them. I congratulate to us for our graduation. Thank you.
Anuja Kausihan.
Hi, I'm Latisha Abeyvardhana, a graduate chemist from Institute of Chemistry, Ceylon. After completing my postgraduate diploma in analytical chemistry at the University of Colombo, I enrolled in the MPhil degree at SLINTEC as I'm fascinated to this miniature technology. There, I worked on developing a smart seed coating containing nutrients required at early stage of the plant growth using modified hydroxyapatite nanoparticle as the delivery vehicle. I used a simple one-pot in situ sol-gel synthesis method to prepare the zinc-doped hydroxyapatite urea nanoparticles. The state-of-the-art instruments available at SLINTEC provided me the platform to observe the lattice distortions of hydroxyapatite nanoparticles, indicating the successful doping of zinc. This is the first example for the application of doping technology in plant nutrient delivery system in agriculture. The nanoseed coating exhibited enhanced plant growth, development, and crop yield on maize along with the precise release properties. Importantly, the coating is responsible for providing 3 nutrients at the early germination stage of the seeds. This could be a sustainable solution for the current issues related to fertilizers. Finally, I would like to thank my supervisors, Professor Nirmala Kotegoda, Professor Viranja Karunaratna, and Dr. Surin Chaturika for their valuable guidance throughout the project. Thank you.
Wanyachige Dona Latisha Sewandi Abevikrama.
Samali. I'm a chemistry graduate of University of Sri Jayawardhanapura. My undergraduate research area was nanotechnology and organic chemistry, from which my passion for nanoscience started. Then I got the opportunity to join SLINTEC Academy, where we could learn different areas of nanoscience, and most importantly, we were able to get hands-on experience in instrumentation for different nano characterization techniques. So my basic MPhil research project was nano-encapsulation of essential oils to control their volatility in order to enhance their effectiveness. The developed technique can be easily tailored into different areas like cosmetics and pharmaceuticals. However, I focused on mosquito repellent applications. So here I developed citronella oil and black seed oil integrated nanofibers and microspheric systems using electrospinning technique. These products were tested against Aedes aegypti mosquitoes and found to be effective. Hence, they have a good commercialization potential in the future to address mosquito problem in a scientific approach. I'm forever grateful to my research supervisors, Dr. Sanjeeva Rodrigo, Professor Nirmala Kotegoda, and Professor Viranja Karunaratna for their enormous guidance and support. And I'm thankful to my beloved family, colleagues, SLINTEC and SLINTEC staff.
Udara Lianarachi. In absentia, UG Mihiri Ekanayaka.
I got my BSc degree in Food Science and Technology at Sabaragamude University of Sri Lanka and completed my MSc degree in Nanoscience and Nanotechnology at Postgraduate Institute of Science, University of Peradeniya. In 2016, I joined SLINTEC as a research intern and completed my MSc research project with a 3.8 GPA value under the topic of different morphologies of carbon nanostructures prepared with external sonication. After completing that, in 2017, I began my PhD degree program in Nano and Advanced Technology at SLINTEC Academy with an NRC granted project. My PhD study focused on self-healing epoxy polymer composites. For the first time in this research field, I have developed capsule-based and vascular-based self-healing epoxy composite systems using novel buckyball-shaped calcite microcapsules and multi-core biopolymer carrageenan microfibers as their containers. My studies have contributed to high self-healing performance, and I have written more than 4 scientific publications in international peer-reviewed journals. I am so grateful to my PhD supervisors, including my principal investigator, Dr. Rangika Dilanda Silva, Dr. Prasanga Mantalika, Professor Purya, Senior Professor K. Nalinda Silva, and Senior Professor Gehan Navaratunga for their excellent guidance on me.
Nadisha Madhuwanti Hettiarachchi.
I'm Hamoda Tavish Pereira. I completed my bachelor's degree majoring in biomedical science with a first class honours from EMS affiliated with Northumbria University UK. After my graduation in 2017, I started my PhD in nanoscience and nanotechnology at SLINTEC. My PhD research project is novel synthesis of zinc oxide coated biopolymeric nanoparticles and nanofibers for biomedical applications. It was conducted under the supervision of Dr. Lakshita Pahalagedara, Dr. Rangika Di Silva, Dr. Ranga Disanayaka, Dr. Sanjay Batige, and Professor Gehan Navaratunga. In this research, I have prepared zinc oxide based drug delivery system for upper respiratory tract infections, and I developed zinc oxide based electrospun nanofiber system for wound healing applications, and also I evaluated antibacterial and anti-cancer properties of zinc oxide and zinc oxide loaded curcumin nanoparticles. I finished all 3 projects with international publications. So I would like to convey my gratitude towards my supervisors and SLINTEC staff for providing me the guidance and support throughout this journey.
Walikadege Pamod Tavish Dharmatari Pereira.
I obtained my basic degree from the University of Colombo as a physics graduate. Then I started my Master of Philosophy at same university. Actually, in this degree, I collaborate with the Industrial Technology Institute, that also a graphene-based project. After the MPhil, I joined with the SLINTEC as a research scientist. During this period, I initiated my PhD at SLINTEC Academy. During my PhD program, I developed different materials, graphene oxide, expanded graphite, and also gas sensing material, humidity sensing material, which used for different applications. So graphene material is actually commercialized as a Ceylon graphene technologies, and also expanded graphite, we looking for another joint venture company and also new investments. And also my sensing material is finally come up with the BreathTech X3 mass sensor, which used to monitor the respiratory parameters.
Mudali Tudavage Vimukti Prasad Jayavira.
I'm Madhavi Hevadikaram. I had done my undergrads at University of Sri Jawadharapura and then my masters at Central Michigan University in USA. Before joining SLINTEC, I worked as a lecturer at University of Sri Jawadharapura. Then if I talk about my PhD, during my PhD I have isolated some genes that are present in vithinolides biosynthesis pathway. The vithinolides are plant secondary metabolites, that is very important secondary metabolite produced in which has a very commercial effect. And then by isolating those genes, I have done some protein characterizations. Once we confirm these genes, we can incorporate these genes into a yeast plate where we can produce these vithinolides in a cheaper way, but in higher productions. So I would like to thank Professor Viranja Karunaratne and Dr. Sanjay Batige and Professor Dhyan Amaratunga for being my amazing supervisors whom helped me throughout these years. And I would like to thank SLINTEC administration and SLINTEC all the co-workers and our scientists whom helped me a lot to achieve this task. Thank you very much.
E.H. Madhavi Mihirangi Hevadikaram.
I'm Chanaka Sandurwan. I'm currently working as a research fellow at the Sri Lanka Institute of Nanotechnology. I had obtained my BSc from the University of Colombo in Molecular Biology and Biochemistry in 2009 and MSc from the same university in Analytical Chemistry in 2015. I had also completed an MBA from the Open University of Sri Lanka, specializing in technology commercialization in 2017. I started my PhD journey at Sri Lanka Institute of Nanotechnology in 2017 under the supervision of Dr. Vipum Premadal from University of Sri Jawadharapura and Professor Gehan Namarthungu from University of Cambridge. My PhD research focused on developing spinnable carbon nanotubes and novel carbon materials. As the first phase of my work, a multifunctional chemical vapor deposition system was developed by modifying conventional CVD laboratory design with some vacuum parts made in Sri Lanka. This exercise also provided the scientific knowledge on the ability to construct advanced CVD systems locally. As the second phase of my work, spinnable CNT yarns have been synthesized successfully. For the first time, I have derived a new index to reflect the spinability improvements of CNT arrays, naming Surface Graphitic Index (SGI). Continuing my work, a novel carbon structure has been successfully synthesized using copper iodide as a catalyst on various substances, including stainless steel, copper, and graphite. Structural analysis revealed that the carbon structure consists of microcarbon rods of carbon nanorods. The structural interpretation can be directly linked to curved nanostructures. This will be the first study of microcarbon fibers consisting of carbon nanorods grown by copper iodide as a catalyst material to the best of our knowledge. My research career is older than a decade now. I joined SLINTEC as an intern, where I prepared raw materials for preparing fertilizers. Today, I have more than 21 index journal articles with a few patents in my hand, and wish to continue my research career further with the strength given by SLINTEC. I would like to thank my supervisors and my mentors for guiding me to this success. Thank you.
Supuarachi Kankanamlage Chanaka Sandaruwan.
I am Upmalika Samanthi. I completed my bachelor's degree from the University of Peradeniya, specializing in chemistry. Then I completed my Master of Philosophy degree from the University of Kelaniya. Then I joined SLINTEC as a research scientist. While working there, I started my doctorate degree under the supervision of three legends in science: Professor Viranja Karunaratne, Professor Gihana Amaratunga, and Dr. Dinara S. Gunasekara, for taking me under their wings to pursue my doctorate degree. I would like to thank them a lot. My doctorate study mainly focuses on medicinal agents. One of the branch is natural product chemistry and the synthetic organic chemistry. Under the natural product chemistry, I have worked with Manihot escluenta, which is generally known as Manioc or cassava. And the other natural plant is the Vateria copelifera, which is generally known as hull. Then under the synthetic organic chemistry, I followed two synthesis of APIs, beclomethasone dipropionate and levothyroxine. My major findings comprise of a scalable method of isolation and detection of linamarin, and investigation of antioxidant activities of Vateria copelifera compounds, and the development scalable method of synthesis of two APIs. As an outcome of this research, I have published 4 peer-reviewed publications in 4 journals and 2 abstracts. I inspired by this study, and I founded a scientific consultation company, Moleculex Private Limited. Now I am working as a Chief Operating Officer of that company and helping out and backing Sri Lankan companies who seek scientific needs.
Kuruppu Achilage Upamalika Samanthi. Thank you, Chancellor and Vice Chancellor.
Thank you, Dr. Lakshita. Ladies and gentlemen, next is the keynote speech by Professor Gehan Amarthunga from the University of Cambridge, United Kingdom. Professor Gehan A.J. Amarthunga has held the 1966 Chair Professorship in Engineering at the University of Cambridge since 1998. He is also Honorary Professor at Yunnan University and Peking University Graduate School, Shenzhen in China, and being the Tan Chin Tuan Visiting Professor at Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. He held the position of Chief of Research and Innovation at the Sri Lanka Institute of Nanotechnology from 2011 to 2019, and past faculty and research positions at Liverpool, Southampton, and Stanford universities. Currently, he is the founding director of the Shenzhen Qianhai Hong Kong Collaboration Advanced Technology Research Institute in China. He is a fellow of the Royal Academy of Engineering UK, National Academy of Sciences of Sri Lanka, Royal Society of Arts UK, and the Institution of Engineering and Technology. He has published over 800 academic papers and is an inventor on 56 granted patents. His research is in the broad area of materials, devices, and technologies for electrical energy and power. It intersects electrical and electronic engineering with physics, chemistry, material science, and information systems. He is also a founder of 6 startup companies which have successfully commercialized research from his group, in recognition of which he was awarded the Silver Medal of the Royal Academy of Engineering in 2007. Professor Amarthunga is not here with us today due to travel restrictions as he is in China. We will now watch his video message.
Good afternoon. Chancellor of the SLINTEC Academy and Chairman of the SLINTEC Board, Mr. Isharanana Kara, the Pro-Tem Chancellor of the SLINTEC Academy, as well as the Chairman of the Board of Trustees of the SLINTEC Endowment and a major benefactor of the SLINTEC Academy, Deshamanya Mahesh Amale, Vice Chancellor of the SLINTEC Academy, Professor Viranja Karunaratne, the CEO of SLINTEC, Mr. Naresh Handagam, the ministers, the Right Honourable Namal Rajapaksa, the Right Honourable Bandula Gunawardena, and the Right Honourable Tharaka Balasuriya, ladies and gentlemen, and of course, most importantly, the graduates from the first SLINTEC Convocation. It gives me great honor to have been invited to give the keynote speech at the first convocation of the SLINTEC Academy. This is particularly so as I, together with Professor Viranja Karunaratne and Mr. Harindi S. Vijayaratne, the then CEO of SLINTEC, were the original people who proposed the establishment of the SLINTEC Academy. In many ways, this was a logical and natural extension to use the world-class scientific facilities which had been established at SLINTEC, together with the excellent scientific cadre, many of whom had returned to Sri Lanka after their PhDs to start working at SLINTEC, to train and educate Sri Lankans to be research scientists at the PhD level. For SLINTEC research, in turn, it would provide a new pipeline of research from the PhD research subjects, as well as give them access to well-trained PhD and MPhil level research staff. From concept to establishment required a number of Herculean tasks to be met. These included, of course, the getting of approval from the UGC to allow a new institute to award PhD and MPhil degrees, have the curriculum completed in time, as well as to have the financial and legal structure of the academy in place, and also importantly, to have a scholarships fund set up to enable students to meet their fees if they were not able to do so themselves for financial reasons. SLINTEC Academy was founded as a private needs-blind institute in terms of admission. So that means that for those who were good enough to get admitted to SLINTEC, we did everything possible to ensure that they could join SLINTEC and pursue their research studies. In order to achieve these tasks, it required a team of people to work in an inspired manner and also believe in a vision for a new form of postgraduate education in Sri Lanka. People who come to mind in particular are Professor Nirvala Kutiguru, who was also the first registrar of the SLINTEC Academy, Mrs. Dara Vijaytilaka, Mr. Udayananakkara, and the then Minister of Technology, the Right Honourable Susil Premajayanta. From acorns do oak trees grow. I'm sure in time, the SLINTEC Academy will also be an oak tree to be recognized. But today we're in particular celebrating the first saplings who have been nurtured from the SLINTEC Academy and will progress to their careers. In doing so, I would ask the new graduates to keep with them always the pioneering spirit, the resilience and excellence which shines from them today as they proceed to their future career. I understand that half the class are receiving PhD degrees and the other half MPhil degrees. I'm also told that the MPhil dissertations could have easily been upgraded to PhD degrees, but some of you have decided to keep your options open for pursuing further PhD studies overseas. That is a valid decision, and it will give you further exposure and experience, which will be valuable in your careers. It's also a first step for the SLINTEC Academy in internationalizing their degrees through the students who pursue further studies abroad. Those students will be ambassadors not only for the SLINTEC Academy, but also for research from Sri Lanka. It is perhaps worth noting that the great success of Chinese students overseas at the PhD level is largely due to the 3-year master's degree that they undertake in China before going abroad. This enables them to hit the ground running and makes them very successful in winning scholarships at the most prestigious international universities. And I hope that the Sri Lankan graduates who also follow this path of pursuing PhD degrees after doing master's level research will thrive in the same way. For those who are getting your PhDs, I understand that all of you are already employed and is a further indication of the exciting future that lays ahead for you. I will very succinctly share my experience of a career now, which is 40 years post the award of my PhD. You are now equipped to deal objectively, analytically, and dispassionately with any situation that you may face professionally or personally. But success will also require you to keep learning in a spirit of humility and inquiry, while at the same time sharing your knowledge. anything is really possible to achieve, providing you follow 3 basic tenets. And these are: 1, work hard; 2, work hard; 3, work hard. I wish you all the best for a fulfilling and prosperous career in the future from the bottom of my heart. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to now invite the CEO SLINTEC, Dr. Naresh Kumar Handagama, to address the gathering.
Hello, everybody. I have inherited a credit which I'm not too sure whether I'm sort of eligible. I'm a sort of a newcomer. But first of all, Honorable Minister Namal Rajapaksa, Honorable Minister Tharaka Balasuria, the Vice Chancellor, Sir Professor Viranja Karuna Ratna, Honorable Chairman of the Academy of SLINTEC, Dr. Mahesh Amling, and not to forget our beloved Secretary, Mr. Jayanta De Silva, and honorable and beloved relatives and families of the graduates, and of course, finally, the graduates. First, before I forget, I congratulate all the graduates. Secondly, I warmly welcome the participation of everybody here. I have to sort of recap the SLINTEC history, if I may. About, I think, 14 years ago, the inception of SLINTEC as a nanotechnology center pioneering the research. It's not only nanotechnology, but nano and advanced technology. So birth of that, after 10 years of sort of rigor and a lot of sweat and toil, establish the organization that we know today as SLINTEC, which was proved to be credible and productive and useful to the nation and the society. Now, as an offshoot of that, a part of the academia, after 10 years of that inception, the SLINTEC Academy was born. So these products, the graduates, are the first proof of that product. So congratulations. And I would like to sort of mention the hardship, the sweat and toil, the resilience, the tenacity, and most of all, do not give up attitude of the students. So that is a special sort of credit, if you may, a big chip on the shoulders. I'm not telling you to have a swollen head, but you can be proud of. So if you take the purpose of SLINTEC and SLINTEC Academy is to get the inventions, innovate, sort of to be a little bit greedy and valorize it, and then commercialize it so that there will be a purpose of the inventions. And to date, SLINTEC has proved the concept fairly well. And I hope we can drive forward with the same concept, a purpose of value addition and the service to the nation and a trained and skilled society. And recapping all that, I would like to end my my little welcome and congratulatory speech by saying this is your beginning of realization of you don't know everything, but you will realize that it is the door that opens to wisdom. So go apply your knowledge and your will. So you got it, go out and get it. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Naresh Kumar Handagama. I would now like to invite the chairman of the Convocation procession, Deshamana Dr. Mahesh Amaleen, to address the gathering.
Our chief guest today, Honorable Minister Namal Rajapaksa, Minister of Youth and Sports, Minister of Development Coordination and Monitoring, and State Minister of Digital Technology and Enterprise Development, Secretary, Ministry of Technology, Mr. Jayantha De Silva, special guest, Honorable Minister Tharaka Balasurya, State Minister of Regional Cooperation. Our keynote speaker today, Professor Gihan Amaratunga, Professor of Engineering, University of Cambridge, UK. Members of the board and colleagues of SLINTEC, members of the board from the SLINTEC Academy, distinguished invitees, parents, and my dear graduates. It gives me great pleasure to speak to you today on behalf of SLINTEC, the SLINTEC Academy, at this inaugural Convocation ceremony. Dear graduates, my congratulations to all of you for successfully completing your Master of Philosophy and Doctor of Philosophy programs, marking a significant milestone in your academic life. This is a great achievement, and I truly believe you deserve it. Today, you can certainly be proud of the fact that you are graduating from an institution recognized as a pioneer in the field of nano and advanced technologies, both locally and internationally. When I reflect back on the journey of SLINTEC and the SLINTEC Academy, I'm extremely proud of the many contributions both these institutions have delivered to our nation over the past several years. I recall back in 2006 when I, together with leaders representing several industries, were invited by the then Minister of Science and Technology, Professor Tissa Vitarana, to establish SLINTEC as a public-private partnership. It was certainly a first at that time, with 5 corporate institutions partnering with the government of Sri Lanka through the National Science Foundation to establish this institute in the country. The institute was established during the presidency of Honorable Mahinda Rajapaksa, Prime Minister of Sri Lanka. During its 13 years, SLINTEC has contributed immensely towards furthering the research capabilities in the country, especially in the area of science, engineering, agriculture, and medicine. SLINTEC gained significant momentum in the initial years, publishing many papers and filing for groundbreaking patents in the field of agriculture, textiles, and minerals. As all of you would agree with me, nano and advanced technologies are experiencing an exponential growth, and there is growing demand for solutions derived from these technologies across the world. Many businesses have already begun to incorporate these technologies in their manufacturing process and in developing new products. I believe this was what attracted the private sector to partner with the government to create SLINTEC, to engage on mutually beneficial initiatives in the field of nanotechnology. It was this keen interest shown by the corporate and the state sector in research and applied sciences, and the need to develop talent to support research that actually gave birth to the SLINTEC Academy in 2019. We successfully established the Academy as the research capability arm of SLINTEC. I am pleased to mention that the Academy continues to offer postgraduate degree programs, namely Master of Science, Master of Philosophy, and the Doctorate of Philosophy in nano and advanced technologies to elevate standards and to develop the much needed competencies of our scientists. And to those of you who have graduated today, it gives me a great deal of joy to see you, the next generation of scientists, equipped with the capability to contribute your knowledge and experience to public and private enterprises in Sri Lanka, adding value to the country. The qualifications you have gained today is not a culmination of your studies, but a new beginning to foray into an exciting opportunities in the years to come. So I urge you to continue your endeavors in research and, most importantly, the application of this research for the benefit of the people of the country. I am certain that your future will be filled with many opportunities in areas which are yet to be explored and discovered. During the past years, I've had the privilege of engaging with various stakeholders who have supported us in numerous ways to make SLINTEC a successful research institute and the Academy an institution where we build our future scientific talent. There are many individuals who have contributed significantly towards SLINTEC and the SLINTEC Academy, and also to today's convocation. I may not be able to personally recognize all of them today. However, I would like to express my appreciation first to Minister Namal Rajapaksa for accepting our invitation to grace this occasion today. It is encouraging, sir, to see you take a special interest in the development of youth in the field of education and sports, both of which are equally important to the future generations of our country. Minister Tharaka Balasuriya, for gracing the occasion today, and by your presence here expressing your support for research and education. Over the years, ministers and officials of the ministry have supported the activities of SLINTEC and the Academy. I would like to take this opportunity to sincerely appreciate and thank all of them for their continued support. I would also like to appreciate Professor Gihan Amratunga, former head of research at SLINTEC, for his invaluable contribution during his tenure with us at SLINTEC, and for his keynote address today. Professor Viranja Karunaratne, Vice Chancellor of SLINTEC Academy, for his contribution to research at SLINTEC and for his passion and enthusiasm for education, which brought about the formation of the Academy. I would like to especially appreciate Professor Karunaratne for dedicating the last 9 months in working with our graduates and their collaborators and sponsors to prepare them for the final stages of the MPhil and PhD. Professor Nilvala Kotegoda, Dr. Anil Gunaratne, and the research scientists for conducting research and building our research talent for the future. A special thank you goes to Mrs. Dara Vijayatilaka for the pivotal role she played in providing legal assistance, especially at the beginning of the Academy. And to Dr. Chandra Ebul Deniya for assisting us with the construct of the convocation. I'd like to express my heartfelt appreciation to the Government of Sri Lanka, National Science Foundation and the Ministry for the support extended in providing land and the financial assistance to develop our infrastructure and equipment for both the Research Institute and the Academy. As the founding chairman of SLINTEC and the SLINTEC Academy, I want to record my sincere appreciation to the chairman and the members of the board of both the institutions, SLINTEC and SLINTEC Academy, and the management for their role in establishing a world-class research institution and a postgraduate academy. My appreciation also goes to the CEOs who have given leadership to this institute, the research scientists who have contributed towards the research. I see a lot of you here, and thank you for joining us. I really appreciate your invaluable contribution to the success of this institute. As the motto of the Academy states, educare et educere, which means educate and lead. I'd like to ask those of you who have graduated today to take these words to heart, to continue your education and apply that knowledge that you have gained in advanced technologies to lead the country into the future. Thank you and have a pleasant day.
And thank you, Dr. Mahesh Shamali. Ladies and gentlemen, I now warmly welcome Mr. Jayanta De Silva, the Secretary of the Ministry of Technology, to address the gathering.
Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Sorry. Honorable Minister Nama Rajapaksa, Honorable Minister Taraka Balasurya, the boards of SLINTEC and the SLINTEC Academy, the Academia, and most of all, the graduates and the graduates who have been very successful today. It is indeed a pleasure for us as the ministry to participate in your first convocation. Looking at the research that you all have done, it gives us great encouragement. Professor explained to you all about the values and your path ahead. So I will discuss a little bit of R&D and the responsibilities as a government and as the ministry. If we analyze the difference between developed and the developing countries, one of the biggest attribution could be identified as the developing countries always sell things in raw form. The developing countries always give services in the raw form. And the developed countries always give through value addition. And the pathetic situation is that most of the developed countries, the raw material is taken from countries like ours. So if you really look at that cycle of thought or idea to a product, research and development plays a huge importance. We have to accept that, unfortunately, countries like ours lay less emphasis on research and development. And I'm quite pleased and proud to see that we are taking the right path today in emphasizing the research and development factor. Let me take an analogy between in the IT field, because I comes from that. Two great people in the IT industry, or two firms, Microsoft and Apple, had two different paths. Microsoft always did research on the requirement of the public. They analyzed what the public want and did research. Apple did a different, innovative way. They created the requirement and told the people, use this. I don't know whether you are aware, Apple became a huge success. And at one time, Microsoft was in the verge of closure. But Apple priced their products so high that at that moment, Microsoft survived. So when it comes to research, it's extremely important that we have to do research looking at not at the requirement, but you should create the requirement. You should be able to, a researcher should be able to do that. One other thing that I want to talk to you all is actually one of your graduates had done the same subject. Commercializing research or commercializing technology is one of the key things that you have to understand. They say, never talk research with an accountant. Sorry about it. But that's true. Because there are 4 stages of research. Firstly, it is the idea. Your policies. What do you want to do? The second thing is the concept. Now, I want to emphasize this fact that Sri Lankans are the best or could be classified as good and best in the world when it comes to conceptual design. That is one of the things that we have got and one of the things that it is in our blood. Conceptual designing is not an easy thing. So conceptual designing is one of the things that we as Sri Lankans have in plenty. So please use it. The next comes at the operations, where organizations like SLINTEC could help you all to put your thought, the concept into operational mode. And finally, the product. So marketing, commercializing the product is also extremely important. We in the IT sector was the most successful year in the history of IT BPM was last year. We did 17% growth last year with all these challenges that we faced. So we are quite proud of it. And as a government, we really appreciate SLINTEC and now today your academy, that we know, we understand that we have to do a lot of investments. Do you know that some of the IT companies today invest almost over 60% on R&D? 60% of their income is put back to R&D. So R&D is a costly item. So we as a government have identified that we have to help you. And I hope your board and the CEO would appreciate and would identify that we are going in the right direction. Our Minister, Honorable His Excellency the President and Honorable Namal Rajapaksa always tell me, in fact, His Excellency wants to come and visit you within 2 weeks. So we as a ministry, we as a government, gives the assurance that we will help you, we'll be with you, and I take this opportunity especially to congratulate the graduates and all who have obtained their PhDs today. And I wish you a good life. It's a challenging thing. This is the first opening for your career, and I wish you, and to emphasize, we will be helpful, we will back you, and I wish you all the very best and have a pleasant day. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jayantha De Silva. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time to recognize the outstanding achievements of the students who have excelled exceptionally during their academic years at the SLINTEC Academy. I would like to request Professor Nilvala Kottekoda to proceed to the podium. And I would now like to invite Minister Namal Rajapaksa, Minister Tharaka Balasuria, and Mr. Jayantha De Silva, accompanied by the Vice Chancellor SLINTEC Academy, Professor Veransha Karunaratne, to present the awards.
Mr. and Mrs. F.G.N. Mendes Award for Research with the Best Commercialization Potential. Dr. Supurachi Kankanamge Chanaka Sandaruan, thesis title Synthesis of Spinnable Carbon Nanotubes and Carbon Nanomaterials using Customized Chemical Vapor Deposition System. Amalia Foundation Award for Research with the Best Commercialization Potential. Dr. Mudali Tuduage, Vimukti Prasad Jayavira, thesis title, Graphene-based conductive materials for sensor applications. Mr. Abdul Hussein Hanali Esofle Memorial Award for pioneering a novel research area. Dr. Kurupuachilage Upamalika Samanthi, research area synthesis of advanced pharmaceutical ingredients. Mr. and Mrs. F.G.N. Mendes Award for pioneering a novel research area. Dr. E.H. Madhavi Mihirangi Hevadikaram, research area synthetic biology.
Thank you, Minister Namal Rajapaksha, Minister Tharaka Balasurya, and Mr. Jayanta De Silva. Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to invite Dr. Naresh Kumar Handagama, the CEO of SLINTEC, to accompany Professor Viranja Karunaratne in presenting the next special award.
David F. and Pessina Y. Karunaratne Memorial Award for Best GPA in Coursework of an MPhil student. Miss UG Mihiri Ekanayaka. She has already headed for her PhD in Australia, so she is not here today. Congratulations to her. Mr. and Mrs. A.L.J. De Silva Vijayaratna Memorial Award for the highest number of publications with a high impact factor. Dr. Valikadage Pamoda Tavish Pereira.
Thank you, Dr. Naresh Kumar Handagama. Now, I would like to invite Professor Viranja Karunaratne, the Vice Chancellor of SLINTEC Academy, to present the final special award.
Vice Chancellor's Award for Outstanding Leadership. This award recognizes a student who has demonstrated leadership through remarkable service for common good, in addition to scholarly achievements. Mr. Rajapaksha Gedara Veranga Danushka Bandara Rajapaksha. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Viranja Karunaratne and Professor Nilvala Kottagoda. As we draw closer to the end of today's proceedings, I would like to invite on stage graduate Dr. Chanaka Sandruwan to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. Chief guest, Honorable Minister Namal Rajapaksa and Honorable State Minister Tharaka Balasuriya, Secretary to Ministry of Technology, Mr. Jayanthi Silva, and delegates from the Ministry of Technology, Chancellor, Vice Chancellor, SLINTEC and SLINTEC Academy board members, Chief Executive Officer and Chief of Research and Innovation of SLINTEC, former CEOs and COOs of SLINTEC, founding professors of SLINTEC and SLINTEC Academy, provost, SLINTEC Academy lecturers, all other academics, non-academic staff, distinguished invitees, SLINTEC tenant members and SLINTEC members, my SLINTEC colleagues, family and friends, all who are witnessing this event via social media platforms, current SLINTEC Academy students, fellow batch of 2022, ladies and gentlemen. It is my utmost privilege and pleasure to deliver the word of thanks at the inaugural convocation of the SLINTEC Academy on behalf of the very first passing out batch of 2022. Thank you very much for devoting your valuable time and joining us to celebrate this victorious celebration. It always seems impossible until it's done, said one of the greatest leaders of the world ever produced, Nelson Mandela, while transforming South Africa. As such, establishment of SLINTEC Academy and continuing its operation seemed impossible at times. However, today here we are witnessing a major milestone in the journey of SLINTEC Academy. Before acknowledging the greatest personalities who made this remarkable event a reality, first, let me you all down the memory lane for a moment. SLINTEC Academy comes to life as the collective brainchild of then SLINTEC leadership, Dr. Mahesh Amalian, Professor Viranja Karunaratne, Professor Gehan Amaratunga, Professor Nilvala Kottagoda, and Mr. Harindi Silva Vijayaratne in 2017. They envisioned to build an industrially oriented research institution that was similar to the prestigious California Institute of Technology, Caltech, here in Sri Lanka. We started enrolling in the first batch of students of the SLINTEC Academy in the fall of 2017 for MPhil and PhD programs to continue the legacy of SLINTEC by producing postgraduate professionals in nanoscience and nanotechnology, believing the impossible is possible. Since then, our roads were not covered with rose petals, but with the rocks that gave us the strength to reach the pinnacle. We had ups and downs, but we reached the target that we aimed for. It was not that easy. I hope you have heard the famous song of Summer of '69 by Bryan Adams. Our story was not far from what portrayed in that song. I got my first real six string, bought it at the 5 and dime, played it till my fingers bled. It was the summer of '69. Me and some guys from school had a band and we tried real hard. Jimmy quit, Jody got married. I should have known we'd never get far. But when I look back now, that summer seemed to last forever. And if I had choice, yeah, I'd always want to be there. Those were the best days of my life. We at SLINTEC Academy also experienced the same. Some quitted, some preserved, some completed, some continue, some will come. We never thought that we could have come this far. So today we are witnessing the history in the making with the first batch of postgraduate students of SLINTEC graduating with 6 PhDs and 6 MPhils. As calm seas never makes a skilled sailor, those hardships have built us into accomplished scientists. This impossible reality became possible with the exceptional leaders who provided impeccable leadership, guided the students, and gave immense strength and support. On this happiest and proudest occasion, I would like to take time to express my heartfelt gratitude to everyone who brought this grandiose occasion to fruition. First and foremost, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to Minister Honorable Nama Rajapaksa for gracing this inaugural SLINTEC academic convocation as the chief guest and appreciating local intellectuals amid his busy schedule. Today, event would not be possible if not for the continuous patronage provided by Mr. Ishara Nanakara, Chairman, and all the board members of SLINTEC. Thank you very much. I would like to greatly acknowledge Dr. Mahesh Amalian and the SLINTEC Academy Board for standing beside us equally on both stormy and sunny days of this journey and always believing that SLINTEC Academy will revolutionize the higher educational landscape of Sri Lanka. Thank you very much, SLINTEC Endowment Fund and the trustees for providing the strength toward the success of SLINTEC postgraduate program. Professor Veranja Karunaratne, Vice Chancellor of SLINTEC Academy, thank you for envisioning this courageous dream of SLINTEC Academy and making it a reality. We would not be graduating today if not for your visionary and persistent leadership to bring excellence to Sri Lankan research-based postgraduate education. My sincere gratitude goes to the provost, academic lecturers, research supervisors, examiners for the continuous support and guidance in bringing out the best in both students and the institute. Thank you very much to our SLINTEC CEO, Dr. Naresh Handagama, Chief of Research and Innovation, Dr. A. Mubarak, and the rest of the management for the great support and strength given to make this event a reality and continuous facilitation of SLINTEC Academy activities. SLINTEC has always been a home away from not only for me, but also all of us who are currently working and have previously worked at this beautiful place. We call each other as SLINTEC family. My heartfelt gratitude extends to all our past and present mentors and colleagues at SLINTEC, former management of SLINTEC and past management of SLINTEC who live here, who came back, and who live offshore, for each attempt to make this institute and this country a better place, and also for the encouragement and support given throughout our academic journey. Thank you very much, our supporting staff and minor staff, providing the best environment to execute the brain game. Even though not mentioned individually, I would like to fondly acknowledge each and every tiny effort given by everyone that went towards this event's success and the success of our beloved institute, SLINTEC. Your time and dedication is well recognized and highly appreciated. All these achievements would not be possible for the generous donations made by well-wishers of SLINTEC Academy and the taxpayers of Sri Lanka. We will always be indebted to them. Thank you very much to all who dedicated their lives to the betterment of our motherland. By brains or sweat, that sacrification is well noted. We dreamed of SLINTEC. We planted seeds. We nourished it. Today we see it's growing big, strengthening the science community, making a landmark in this tiny island, shading thousands of seedlings to grow fearlessly. SLINTEC belongs to you, me, and the entire nation, for the born and unborn people. Every single attempt that SLINTEC made is for the betterment of our motherland. Every step that SLINTEC takes is to make a better future. It's another living entity, a global identity. Let's hear its breath. Let's nourish it. Together, let's continue the legacy. May SLINTEC shine brighter and reach greater heights with each passing day and make an eternal footprint in the global science arena as a leading nanotechnology institute. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Chanaka Sandarwa. Ladies and gentlemen, as we draw closer and as all good things come to an end, I would now like to invite the chairman of the convocation ceremony, Deshamanya Dr. Mahesh Amaleen, to declare the SLINTEC Academy General Convocation closed.
Thank you very much, each and every one of you, for participating today. To the graduates, wish you the very, very best. We look forward to see you continue education and also contribute to the national economy through your research and development. To all those who have supported us throughout these years, thank you very much. I now declare the SLINTEC Academy General Convocation closed. Thank you.
Thank you for your presence and your participation. Please enjoy the refreshments served outside. Have a pleasant